The boy was gifted with the superpower of time travel. He could freely journey to the past and the future. But an accident occurred on this fateful day. He was abruptly transported to the end of the world. The land was littered with wreckage and severed limbs. Five had an ominous hunch creeping over him. He sprinted desperately toward the direction of his home, only to find it had long been reduced to a pile of rubble. He had to travel back in time at once to save his family, yet his superpower failed him utterly in this desolate place. He was trapped in the apocalypse with no way out. Thus he set out to search for survivors in this doomsday world, for he firmly believed his family, who also possessed superpowers, must still be alive. But reality dealt him a crushing blow. What met his eyes were the cold, lifeless bodies of his brothers and sisters. The only clue left behind was a prosthetic eyeball clutched tightly in his eldest brother's hand as he breathed his last. Perhaps this was the key to unraveling the mystery of the apocalypse. He was determined to prevent this apocalyptic tragedy from happening. It was this very conviction that kept Five clinging to life in the wasteland for 45 years. Yet no matter how thoroughly he scoured every corner of the world, he never found a way to return to the past. As he grew old and frail, Five was on the verge of giving up. But just as he was about to surrender to despair, a still charming woman appeared out of nowhere. It was the first time Five had seen a living person in half a century. He warily aimed his shotgun at her. It turned out the woman was from the Time Bureau. She had come to this desolate world because she coveted Five's time-traveling ability. She told him that if he worked for the Bureau for 5 years, he could go to any timeline he desired. Upon hearing that he could escape the apocalypse, Five hastily agreed to her terms and became an agent tasked with correcting the timeline. Anyone who existed outside the proper flow of time would be ruthlessly eliminated by him without hesitation. In truth, Five had been biding his time all along, secretly searching for a way to return to the past. Finally, during his last mission, using the coordinates he had painstakingly collected, he forcefully tore open a rift in time and caught a glimpse of his beloved brothers and sisters from the past. But another accident happened during the time jump. He was transformed back into his 13-year-old self. He hastily asked for the current date. Upon learning that the apocalypse was only 7 days away, Five immediately set out to find a way to stop it. But no sooner had he stepped out the door than the Time Bureau locked onto his location. As someone who had strayed outside the proper timeline, Five was now marked for elimination, but he remained completely calm. He picked up a nearby knife and effortlessly took down all his pursuers. Then he sliced open his arm with the knife and extracted the tracking chip embedded beneath his skin. With no more enemies to harass him, he could focus all his energy on solving the apocalypse crisis. He then took the prosthetic eyeball to a hospital, but the doctor, seeing that he was just a child, assumed he had stolen the eyeball and reached out to snatch it from him. This infuriated Five. He grabbed the doctor by the collar and chewed him out, but the doctor simply called for security guards. Unwilling to waste any more time, Five had no choice but to think of another plan. He sought help from his fourth brother, and the two of them posed as father and son to visit the hospital again. But once more, the doctor refused to help them, citing patient confidentiality as an excuse. This, however, did not faze the fourth brother. He picked up a crystal ball and smashed it against his own head. Then he snatched the phone from the doctor's hand. Left with no other option, the doctor reluctantly retrieved the relevant files. But to their great surprise, the prosthetic eyeball hadn't even been manufactured yet. This meant the mastermind behind the apocalypse had not even appeared in the world yet. Their investigation into the timeline had hit another dead end.